GOP leaders are now demanding answers and accountability from the Biden administration after claiming they are being stonewalled when requesting information about what's really happening at the U.S.-Mexico border. Joining us now to discuss is a congressman who has been very vocal on getting to the bottom of the border crisis. Kentucky Congressman James Comer, who is also a member of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, joining us live. Congressman, good to see you. Such a serious topic here. Yeah, such a serious topic here. It seems like more and more we get news every day. So regarding this topic, I want to ask you about this specifically. According to the House Oversight Committee, the letter that you wrote, there's been a 28% increase in immigrants crossing the southern border over a 4-week period. That was between January and February. They may be higher, but can you put these numbers into context for the viewers?
Well, we're in a situation now where we're having over 100,000 people cross the border in a month. Thousands of these are unaccompanied children. Remember when Donald Trump was president, the Democrats in Congress were concerned about unaccompanied children at the border and being detained at the border. And now we've got a situation where Biden's in charge of the border. We've seen the situation spiraling out of control, just as we feared it would. His immigration policies are sending a message to the world that you can come into the United States illegally without any consequences. And that's only going to propel the flow of illegals across the border. And I think that you're seeing a situation now where all the border mayors of the big cities in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, they're at a critical point with all of these illegals coming into the United States at the time of a pandemic, at a time of high unemployment. And it's a situation that Joe Biden continues to sidestep.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi blames the previous administration for this, recently speaking. She blames the Trump administration. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's absolutely not true. One of the great successes of the Trump administration was his focus on border security. And we saw that the border security was pretty stable until Joe Biden became president. And on day one, Joe Biden started sending a clear signal to the world that he was not going to enforce the border in the same manner that Donald Trump. He also halted the border wall. He has reinstigated the failed catch and release policies of the Obama administration. So it's no surprise that we're seeing this Biden border crisis, and it's only going to get worse.
Let me take you to your home state of Kentucky here when I have the time for you here. The White House, or before I get to that, I want to ask you about this. The White House says they are sending more people back than they are taking in on the border. Do you believe that?
Unfortunately, I do not believe that. I was on the phone with the mayor of Yuma, Arizona last week. That is not the report that I'm getting from him. We have 2 members of Congress that represent the border on my committee, Paul Gosar in Arizona and Yvette Harrell in New Mexico. That is not the report that I'm getting from them. So I think that this is another case of a lack of transparency from the Biden administration and a situation that's only going to get worse each day.
In Kentucky, in your state, the Senate there voting now on a much different process here to criminalize insulting police officers, rather making it easier to process those who do insult police officers. Can you explain what's happening in Kentucky and kind of where do you fall on the spectrum of that process?
Well, this bill was sponsored by Senator Danny Carroll, who's a constituent of mine from Paducah, Kentucky. He's a former police chief. So he is a representative of law enforcement. And I think you see in Kentucky, a lot of the legislators are Republican, obviously, and they're sick and tired of this disrespect from the Democrats concerning our law enforcement. We have a city, Louisville, which has faced many riots over the past 2 years. And what Senator Carroll's bill would do is simply increase the penalty for anyone that provokes a riot by attacking a police officer. And I think that this is something that unfortunately needs to be done because of the rhetoric of the Democrats in the big cities and the Democrats in Washington.
So there may be other states that are watching this play out in Kentucky and seeing how this goes. But what constitutes that? Is it verbal altercation with officers? Do you know? Is it just a simple insult, or does it come down to being physically assaulting an officer?
It's more along the lines of physically assaulting. It's not verbally assaulting. It's anything that would provoke a riot. Now, that's open to definition, as many laws are, but it's anything that would provoke a riot by attacking a police officer. So I do not believe that verbal attacks would constitute a penalty according to this new law, but I do believe that physical attacks that would provoke a riot would.
I also want to ask you about this. A lot of heat coming over New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Some would be watching and saying you're going to talk about these sexual harassment allegations. Sure, that's happening now as well. But let's not forget about the nursing home scandal. These allegations against Cuomo have been around for nearly a year now. What do you make about the fact that he's facing these calls to resign now, really over something entirely not to do with the nursing home scandal? And how can you hold him accountable? How can other lawmakers hold him accountable for what's happened at the nursing homes?
Well, the Republicans on the Oversight Committee and the COVID-19 Select Committee, led by Steve Scalise, which is a subsidiary of the Oversight Committee, we've not let up on this nursing home scandal. Even amidst the news of all the sexual harassment allegations, our focus is on the nursing home scandals and the fact that he has several employees who have said publicly that he covered up the number of nursing home deaths at a time when we really needed that data in America to be able to determine what the best path forward was with preventing the outbreak of COVID. And if you'll remember, the liberal media continued to heap praise on Governor Cuomo for his superior handling of COVID-19. What we realize now is there wasn't a governor in America that handled it worse than Governor Cuomo. The nursing home deaths alone there represented the largest percentage of deaths of COVID of any particular area in America. So this is something that we're not going to let up on. We want to know the facts. Governor Cuomo needs to be transparent about the facts. And I wish a lot of the legislators who are calling for his resignation because of the sexual harassment allegations would focus on what the major problem is, and it's all those nursing home deaths and the fact that he lied about exactly how many were how many did die in the nursing home. And that's a serious allegation. I don't know of a governor in America in the last 10 years that's been accused of anything any worse
well,
than
actually, I
all
do.
Those nursing home deaths.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. She's been facing heat over what happened there in her state, allegedly, and that's being investigated as well. Does the Oversight Committee are you going to look at that at all, or is it just focused on Cuomo?
No, I think we're going to look at everything. But with Cuomo, you've already got clear indications that he tried to cover it up. So the question would be, when did he know that this spike in deaths was a result of his policy of sticking positive patients into these nursing homes? When did he know that? And at what point did he start covering up his nursing home death reports? Because this is a very serious thing that could have been used with the CDC and with the administration's policy moving forward of what to do with positive patients. So Governor Cuomo botched this about as bad as you could possibly botch it. But the real crime is his covering up the total number of deaths. And the families of New York who lost loved ones deserve to know the answer. The American population deserves to know the answer. And we're not going to let up on this, and we're going to hold him accountable until we find the facts. And I think the facts are going to be a bigger problem for Governor Cuomo than the sexual harassment allegations.
And a lot of folks agree with that. All I'm saying is there is a recorded hush payment, alleged hush payment, but there is a payment made for $155,000 made from Whitmer's office. I mean, there are facts to look at there, Congressman. I just hope that perhaps that would be on your radar as well.
It is on our radar, and we haven't gotten to the point just yet to where we're going to call for a hearing or call for more information, but we're rapidly getting there. We're just trying to hold Cuomo accountable, and we're not going to let Whitmer off the hook either.
All right, Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for being fair. I appreciate that. Congressman James Comer joining us live from Kentucky. Good to see you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.